All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly revolutionary. It's a project that blends ancient wisdom with, well, with the most cutting-edge tech you can imagine. We're talking about a vision that literally reaches for the stars to solve a huge crisis right here on our planet. This is the incredible story of the Indigenous AI data center in space.
You know, a story this big, a vision this colossal, it all starts with one person. It begins with the life mission of Jason Carter, who also goes by his spirit name, Bear Standing Tall. And his mission? It's right there. That simple but incredibly profound idea is the gravitational center for this entire project, a project that's aiming to completely reimagine our digital future.
So, to really get why a project like this is so critical, we've got to face a crisis that's kind of hidden in plain sight. We need to ask ourselves a tough question, right? What if the very tools we're building to save the world are actually doing some serious damage behind the scenes?
Okay, so let's get into it. The cloud's hidden crisis. We all use the cloud, right? It's where our photos live, our documents, basically our entire digital lives. But have you ever stopped to think, what is it? Like, where is this cloud actually located?
Well, that term, the cloud, it's brilliant marketing, but it's also really deceptive. It makes you think of something ethereal, weightless, clean. But the reality, it couldn't be more different. We're talking about massive industrial data centers. Think sprawling factories that are just incredibly thirsty, consuming vast amounts of resources. And a lot of the time, they're built on or near indigenous lands, drinking up the very water that's essential for life.
And check out this number, because it really puts the scale of this problem into perspective. Just for AI by 2027, the global demand for cooling these centers is projected to hit 6.6 billion cubic meters of water. Let that sink in. That's more than 6 times the water an entire country like Denmark uses in a year. There's just no way that's sustainable.
So you have this completely unsustainable model on Earth. And that's exactly what the Indigenous AI data center in space, the IADCS, is designed to fix. The solution is just radical and brilliant. What if you just move the whole problem off-world? What if you use the environment of space itself?
And this table just lays it out so perfectly. It shows you the genius behind the IADCS. Down here on Earth, our data centers are guzzling billions of liters of fresh water, burning a mix of fossil fuels. But in space, the IADCS uses the infinite cold of the vacuum to cool itself. That means zero water needed. And its energy? 100% direct, continuous sunlight. It's a fundamental shift, moving from a mindset of extraction to one of true stewardship.
But here's the thing. This project is so much more than just a clever engineering solution. Its entire design, its whole purpose, is guided by something deeper. We're talking about a powerful spiritual figure from Cree and Ojibwe teachings.
The Thunderbird. It's a protector, right? A guardian spirit that looks out for humanity. And in Jason Carter's vision, this ancient, powerful story is being reinterpreted for our digital age. The Thunderbird's role as a protector is taking on a whole new technological form.
And this is where the metaphor gets just beautiful. The Thunderbird sends lightning from its eyes to protect and illuminate. So what is the lightning in this new story? The lightning is data. The IADCS satellite beams down knowledge, communication, maybe even cures for diseases, all to Earth at the speed of light. It's a modern form of that same illumination.
And this is a perfect case of form-following spirit. I mean, the satellite's design is just a masterclass in biomimicry. Look at this. It launches with its solar wings folded up tight. Then, once it's in orbit, they unfurl to catch the sun, inspired by the mechanics of a bird's wing. And it's not just one satellite. They fly in formation, like a flock of eagles, sharing the workload and creating this incredibly resilient network up in the sky.
So you've got this amazing technology, this deep spiritual design, and it's all building toward one of the most important goals of this entire project, achieving true data sovereignty for indigenous peoples.
Think about it. For centuries, colonization was about taking resources from the land. Well, today there's a new version. It's gone digital. It's called cloud colonialism. This is where indigenous data, their stories, their knowledge, their genetic information, is just extracted and stored on corporate servers, with the communities having absolutely no control, no benefit, no say. The IADCS is designed to be the antidote to that.
It does this by putting well-established indigenous data governance principles, like OCAP, into practice. And the key word here, the real game changer, is possession. It means the data physically lives on infrastructure that is owned by indigenous people. It's in orbit, like a digital hard shell that can't be cracked open without consent. It's not just sitting on some server leased from a tech giant on the other side of the world.
And on top of that, its operations are guided by the CARE principles. So what does that mean? It means any AI that gets trained using this data has to be guided by Indigenous ethics. It ensures the benefits actually flow back to the entire community, not just into some corporation's quarterly report.
So all of this, it's all building towards this really powerful long-term vision. And it's guided by a core Indigenous philosophy that basically flips our entire modern way of thinking about progress and planning on its head. So much of the tech world today runs on what you could call the quarterly earnings principle, right? It's all about the next 3 months. The IADCS, on the other hand, is built on the 7 generations principle. It's not a 3-month plan, it's a 140-year strategic plan. And the question it asks is simple but profound. Will what I'm doing today help my great-great-great-great-grandchild live a good life?
And this really gets to the heart of it all. This isn't just about storing data. It's about creating a life bank in orbit, a place to preserve endangered languages, oral histories, the very essence of a culture. It's about generating real economic reconciliation, with money flowing back to fund things like language schools and clean water. And maybe most importantly, it's about preparing the youth, inspiring them to be the architects of this new technology, not just the people it happens to.
So in the end, the Indigenous AI data center in space really challenges every single one of us to look up. And not just to see the stars and the potential of technology, but to look to the timeless wisdom that's been here all along, because it just might hold the most elegant solutions to our most complex, modern problems.